The first stage is in. It's playing exactly as we talked about, with CPI data coming in at 2.5%, the lowest it's been since 2021. But the price of Bitcoin holding around 57.5K. Well, the question is why, and what is going to happen over the next 10 days? Well, guess what? I've got it all for you in this video. If that's something you like the sound of, you want to stay up to date with this crazy market we call Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into this one. So in the last 24 hours, we've had some pretty crazy things happen. Not only a presidential debate, but CPI came in exactly as we expected. 2.5% versus a 2.6% expectation, which is good news. Inflation continues, certainly in the US, to be under control. Now, this does pave the way for a Fed meeting next week. What is Jerome Powell going to do? Obviously, the market pricing in 25 basis points. Lots of people are in that place as well. I actually think that they could see something else. I actually think this paves the way for a 50 basis points reduction rate aligned to non-recession discussion. I think this is going to be important. We need to see the data followed by a relatively dovish Jerome Powell before we can truly start to see the market move. But this isn't all. Again, the debate around Trump and Kamala Harris was very interesting for the price of Bitcoin. We actually saw a rally down as Trump was talking. It was going to be expected. Bite the rumor, sell the news. Everyone expecting we were going to see this, cryptocurrency adoption based on this discussion. Well, in the matter of fact, they didn't talk about it at all. So at the minute, we've got CPI data and we have the debate, but there is other things going on that people need to be aware of, namely a retest of 57,000. Why is this an important level? Well, people predict that we could now beginning to see this push. Remember, the month of September is a very bearish month, and people believing that 57,000 gives us a significant potential move if you were to go by what history tells us. In fact, historical patterns believe that this rate signifies, and due to past history tells us, we get a significant price rally breaking a bearish trend. And history tells us September is exactly one of those things. Now, the timeline for that, 2 weeks, which perfectly aligns to the Fed rate cuts coming next week and potentially the unlocking of Russian and Chinese mining companies. This is why, though, we are seeing some very interesting power plays coming out of the US. If you remember yesterday, we spoke on our Bitcoin update video about mining companies turning on hash power. And in fact, the hash rate on the Bitcoin network breaking an all-time high. Well, guess what? CleanSpark acquire 7 Bitcoin mining facilities in a $27.5 million deal, boosting their hash rate by 22%. Now, this is a big deal because ultimately they are front running the market. They are absolutely in a world where they are trying to maximize the Bitcoin rewards and the revenue potential. Now, speaking on my live stream earlier on about mining rewards and mining revenue is actually going down as difficulty starts to soar. This is good news for the average investor because it generally means the price of Bitcoin is going to go up. Well, the reality is if the price of Bitcoin goes up, the rest of the market will follow. Altcoins, meme coins, DeFi, DePIN, whatever you want to call it, will all start to move as well. Interestingly here, the CEO did add, the grid acquisition of our recent closing in Wyoming is now the new transaction, represents a confirmed execution of our growth strategy. Tennessee has a similar political and energy environment to Georgia, where we've deployed nearly $1 billion of capital and operate nearly 500 megawatts. Big mining operations getting Bitcoin while they can. This is only going to be good news. Now, you think of the tsunami that's about to land. BlackRock still isn't buying. BlackRock is still waiting for that dip. We now have mining companies absolutely exploding in hashing power and in equipment, and you've got big institutions buying in. Price of Bitcoin holding 57.5K. The line I'm bothered about is here. This is what we've been talking about now for the last about week. This is the 4.5% general retracement in September, but we actually held up a very nice push down. 55.5K we wicked down to, bought back up with just a 0.2% reduction right now on the price of Bitcoin. This has to be a good news story. So we have, in my opinion, an interesting few days ahead. 58,000 is this line. We want to see a break above that, heading back up to retest 60K pre the Fed rate cuts. That'd be ideally where we get to. We could see some significant volatility. People predicting 40,000 on the back of those Fed rate cuts if the view is that recession is looming. I don't think we get there. I actually think that there's going to be a positive outcome. I think Jerome Powell will be becoming dovish. The labour market results are in tomorrow, so keep your eye on that, because that could, again, give us an indication. Views are they are going to be better than expected, which would signify 2 great days on 2 key measures that the Fed are taking for their rate cuts next week. As always, though, let me know what you think. Do you think we're going to see 50 basis points? Do you think it's 25? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you are interested in joining the Telegram of my token that I'm launching very soon, do check out the link in the description. Also, if you're interested in trading futures, we've got MEXC down there and Prime XBT giving you fantastic bonuses for signing up with those links. Highly recommend checking those out. But let me know in the comments, and if you haven't already and you enjoyed this content, hit that like button and subscribe for more, and we'll see you guys all in the next video. Take care.